everyone, today we'll discuss part 24 of the important notes for biochemistry so that you can easily able to answer the one-liners and the MCQs in your exam. Transamination is the transfer of the amino group from the amino acid to the corresponding alpha keto acid. So as you can see over here, this aspartate amino acid will actually give its amino group to the alpha ketoglutaric acid. Okay, and this will form the corresponding product, that is the oxaloacetic acid and the glutamate. Okay. Transamination reaction are reversible and requires the pyridoxal phosphate derivative of vitamin B6 or pyridoxine as coenzyme. Removal of amino group from the amino acid actually forms the oxaloacetic acid. Okay, so when amino group is removed from this aspartic acid, this will form oxaloacetic acid or the alpha keto acid over here. Transamination is the first reaction in the catabolism of the amino acid. Or addition of amino group to the alpha ketoglutaric, or we can say alpha ketoglutarate, this alpha ketoglutarate actually forms the glutamate. So whenever the amino group is actually added to this alpha ketoglutarate acid, this will form the glutamate by the SGOT or the SGPT. Okay, and further forms the glutamine by enzyme glutamine synthetase, which actually requires the ATP. On addition of NH2 group, oxaloacetic acid forms the aspartate and further forms the aspartate. So over here, if you remember, whenever we remove this amino group from the aspartic acid, this actually forms oxaloacetic acid, right? But when we will again add NH2 group to this oxaloacetic acid, as because this reaction is reversible, so it will again form aspartic acid and will further, this aspartic acid will form the aspargine. Glutamic acid is regarded as the collector of the amino groups. Glutamate is the only amino acid that can undergo oxidative deamination. Trans-deamination is the coupling of transamination and oxidative deamination. Transamination basically occurs in all organs, while the oxidative deamination occurs in the liver. Only alpha amino group of the amino acid takes part in the transamination. One exception over here is that alpha amino group of the ornithine takes part in transamination, and over here there is synthesis of the proline. Now, what is SGOT? Full form of SGOT is serum glutamate oxaloacetate transaminase, and this is also known as the AST, means the aspartate transaminase. We discussed about this enzyme in the previous videos also, right? Aspartate loses amino group and forms oxaloacetic acid, and alpha ketoglutaric acid takes that amino group and forms the glutamate. Simple. Now what is SGPT? SGPT, that means the serum glutamate pyruvate transaminase, also known as the ALT, that means alanine transaminase. We discussed about this enzyme in a previous video also, right? Alanine loses the amino group, okay, and forms the pyruvate, and alpha ketoglutarate takes this amino group and forms the glutamate. Glutamine synthetase enzyme actually converts the glutamate into glutamine by using the ATP. Okay, and over here the intermediate is the gamma glutamyl phosphate. Okay, and over here remember the glutaminase name enzyme basically converts the glutamine to glutamate without using ATP. Glutamine is a non-toxic storage, okay, and transport form of the ammonia in the blood. GDS, that means the glutamine dehydrogenase, helps in the oxidative deamination of the glutamate to release the ammonia in the liver for the entry into urea cycle. Okay, and this enzyme uses either NAD or NADP. So remember, this glutamine dehydrogenase basically helps in the oxidative deamination of the glutamate, so that the glutamate can release the ammonia in the liver, okay, and this ammonia can easily enter into the urea cycle because ammonia is required in the urea cycle, right? Now glutamate forms the gamma aminobutyric acid or the GABA, which is actually a very important and chief inhibitory neurotransmitter. Okay, if you know, the GABA is actually the chief inhibitory neurotransmitter in the developmental mature mammalian CNS. Activators of the GDH are NAD, ADP and the G pH are the NADH, ATP and the GTP. Major transporter of the ammonia from the body and the brain is glutamine, and from the muscle it is alanine. So remember, major transporter is glutamine, okay, of the ammonia from the brain and the body, while the major transporter of the ammonia from the muscle is the alanine. So these both are different. Amino acids which cannot form glutamate and cannot undergo transamination are, remember, proline, hydroxyproline, lysine and threonine. Glucose-alanine cycle. Glucose-alanine cycle is the also known as the Cahill cycle. Now over here there is transportation of the ammonia from the muscle to the liver. Okay, and this Cahill cycle basically occurs in the fasting muscles. Now this Cahill cycle or the glucose-alanine cycle is less productive than the Cori's cycle. Now what happens in the Cahill cycle? Over here, as you can see, basically in the fasting muscle, what happens is this glucose basically breaks down into pyruvate and the pyruvate into alanine. Now this alanine basically enters into the this liver, okay, and this alanine in the liver basically removes the NH2 or the amino group from the alanine, okay, and forms the pyruvic acid or the pyruvate, okay, and the pyruvate basically converts into glucose, okay. This pyruvic acid basically converts into the glucose, and then this glucose basically enters into the muscle, okay. While in the Cori's cycle, what happens is there is excess formation of the lactic acid in the muscle in the basically during the excessive exercise, okay. Whenever there is excess exercise, there is lactic acid formation in the muscles, okay, and when there is energy required by the muscles, what happens is this muscle will actually release this lactic acid into the blood, and from the blood this lactic acid will actually enter into the liver, okay. Now this lactic acid will actually form the pyruvic acid, and pyruvic acid actually forms the glucose. And what is this conversion of the pyruvate to glucose is known as? It is known as gluconeogenesis, okay, and the liver is the main site for performing the gluconeogenesis. So in this both cycles, this pyruvate is converting into glucose, okay, by the help of gluconeogenesis pathway, okay, and then this glucose is then sent to the muscle, okay, for usage, okay. Excess ammonia increases glutamine, okay, and decreases the alpha ketoglutarate and glutamate, and the blood urea nitrogen is also decreased. Now what are the clinical features of the hyperammonemia? Now they are basically lethargy, mental confusion, agitation, blurred vision, slurred speech, cerebral edema, vomiting, fine tremors, hyperventilation, and if not treated, then death may occur. So today up till here, we'll discuss about the further important notes in our next video. Thank you so much.